Hey, my YouTube family. Welcome to Jacquie with a Q. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone's well and you're making it happen for yourself. Okay? So before I get started, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. So today I want to talk about Pimping in the Pews, right? Now, I know y'all saying, well, why am I got this on like this here? Because this is my church attire, and I am a real church lady. When I put this on, I'm Sister Mason. I am not Jacquie. I ain't none of them people. I am Sister Mason, okay? So, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, but I love church, and I travel around a lot of different churches, after I leave my church. Now, I haven't been doing that because of the pandemic. I'm ready for y'all to wear y'all masks, sit the fuck down, so I can go to church. Okay? We get this over with and I go to church. But anyway, when I'm on my evangelical quest, I often see a lot of things, right? And one of the things that I see a lot is pimping in the pews, right? Now, pimping in the pews could be several things, right? And men or women could do that, right? So, it's very interesting to watch. It's very interesting to watch, right? And a lot of times you could be sitting and watching, you be like, what is that I'm seeing, right? See now, pimping in the pews is a little different than out in the streets, right? Because they're a little more subtle. It's subtle in church. It's subtle, right? You gotta be watching to see. You be like, what? You know what I mean? You gotta watch it, right? You have to be seeing it to see it, to know it, right? And because they don't, a successful player in the church, you ain't gonna see him committed to nobody, right? He ain't gonna walk in with nobody. He ain't gonna walk out with nobody. He ain't gonna spend that much time with somebody, right? That's a successful player in the pew, right? And I know of a situation, right? I know of a lot of situations. This one situation, I call them the Addams family, right? Why do I call them the Addams family? Because it's a trio, right? The guy looked like Lurch. One of the conquests looked like Uncle Festus. And the other one looked like the Thing, right? And it's comical. It was comical to watch, right? Because in church you want to have a certain amount of decorum. You don't want to really act like you act outside, right? And women in church. Now let me tell y'all what y'all might not know. All these secular folks. Women in the church are very aggressive, much more aggressive than men. Women in the church are very aggressive. Child, let a new dude come up in there, Joe Blow come up in there, and be all on him. And he ain't really got to look like that. Just be a single man. Or they think that he's single. They going to find out. That's for sure. They going to find out, right? And they going to make their presence known. It's really comical to watch. Because it's, it's the little mating game, right? Now, I'm single, true enough. I just never been that girl. But, you single, you do what you do, right? Shit, that might be why I'm single, because I ain't thirsty. I ain't running around chasing them. But anyway, they cooking dinners. They invite you to their home. They hugging and kissing on you extra. I done seen some women kiss a man all the way in their mouth. They don't even know that man, right? So, it's, church is a subculture. If you really, most people go to church, get the word, go home. Praise the Lord, go home. But it's there's a subculture in the church community, right? And it's a lot of inner workings that go on, right? It's a lot of inner workings, right? And I have seen people, so that's a place to go for real, because there's predators there. Men are predators anyway, they're hunters, that's their job. But there's some extra predatory men that go to church just to get that specific church girl. See, I don't really fall into the church girl category, right? Church girls is good, wholesome, virtuous, good girl. She don't talk back. She might not cuss. She probably don't really drink. Maybe once around at Christmas time or something, See, I cuss. I cuss. I don't drink either, but I cuss, right? And I ain't always not drink. But, they got a specific look to them, right? And if you're very predatory, you can scope them out. They got laser vision on them, right? So, I have seen guys come into a church, scope the one who they think is the vulnerable. See, that's why I don't want to look vulnerable. I don't never want to look vulnerable. I don't care if it's in the streets, in the church, no, it's a grocery store. I don't ever want to look vulnerable because, I think men can pick that up. It's a scent. They are dogs and tell that you're vulnerable. And a lot of times when you're vulnerable, then you fall prey to certain things, right? And it might not be a good thing for you. You know what I mean? Might not be a good thing. And I'm not saying, every woman in church is vulnerable and all that. That's not what I'm saying. But, if you're single, it's a high probability, right? So, especially if you don't see, there are a lot of women who that's all they do. They're not doing extra stuff out in the world. You know what I'm saying? They ain't worldly. They really the good girls, right? And a lot of dudes they pick them. That's who they focus on. They focus on them because why? They can have their way. They're not that worldly. And they can pretty much, let me see, I don't want to use the word, I want to be careful with my words here. But they can take advantage of them. That's for sure. They can take advantage of them, right? So, it's a lot of pimping in the pews. And you know what else? There's a lot of pastors that will subtly flirt with you, right? Subtly. You have to catch it, because, you'd be like, what did he just say? Like, what? You have to catch it, right? And let me tell y'all this. I dated a pastor one time, right? And, I had been seeing him from afar. Right? And I was like, oh, he's a nice looking guy. Just because I look at nice looking guys. I noticed him. He's always suited and booted. Nice looking man. And I didn't know he was single. I just looked at, if I go somewhere and see a nice looking man, I take note of it. And I would see him. He wasn't at my church. He was at another church. So when I would go to that church, I would see him, right? And I think he sang and, I want to say sing and dance, but he sang and he was a pastor, right? He was an associate pastor or whatever, right? So one day, he reached out to me on Facebook, right? So I was like, oh, ain't that something, right? And anyway, child, that was the weirdest date because we were going out, I work hard. Just, I always work hard. I work a lot of hours. I'm the type of woman, if it's some overtime, I work it because I shop a lot. I spend a lot of money, right? So, this particular day, I saved up because I'm going to be hungry when we go to dinner. He invited me to dinner. Okay, cool. And I'm going to meet him because I got off work late. So I'm going to meet him, at where we were going, right? I think we wasn't going nowhere but Applebee's. Something was close to my job, right? And when I go, we got there right at the same time. Now, when like I told y'all, when I'm in church, I ain't really looking for a man. I see attractive men, but I'm not like, ooh, I want a man. I'm, because I'm focused on the word or whatever. I'm focused on giggling with my friends, whatever, right? So I had saw him, like I said, from afar. I had saw him up close, right? Now, mind you, we talked on the phone a couple times. And he was like, I'm going to take you out to dinner. He asked me out real quick, like a day or two, right? So, okay, cool, because I'm always hungry, right? So, he had said he was 6 feet and this and that. Like I said, I saw him from afar. I couldn't really tell what he was. Just looked like a nice looking man. He was a big guy, but I like big guys, right? So anyway, he pulled up he had a nice car. I want to say it was a BMW or Benz or something. I don't know, but it was a nice car, right? It was a nice car. So, child, so I get out. I got a truck. I'm out. I'm waiting for him to get out. Child, it took him so long to get out the car, right? Because he was a big guy. He should have been in that car. So he had to reach around and put his hand on the hood and come out backwards or something. It was a hard time getting out the car, right? I was like, damn, right? He had a hard time getting out the car, right? So he finally get out the car. And I think he had a limp or a club foot or something. He had something off with him, right? So that's okay because I'm hungry. He was a nice guy. We had a nice conversation. And he was a pastor. So I'm looking at him in a very reverent way, first of all. I really respected him. He's in high regards in my mind, right? So now when he get out, the Negro say, his card don't work. What? car don't work. Well, how we gonna eat? Now I'm hungry. I'm ravenous, right? He said, I'm telling you, I got some. I done had the weirdest dates. I done had dates from hell. So he said the car don't work. So I'm like, well, shit, you want to do something? 'Cause I'm hungry, right? So he said he had $20. $20. Okay, fuck it. So I'm thinking to myself, what you gonna eat? I said it like, what you gonna eat then? 'Cause I'm probably about to eat this up. We in Applebee's, right? He said you can go and eat. So of course I ordered my food. Sat there and ate it. He ain't eat nothing. So that was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, how you gonna invite me to dinner? You said your car didn't work and this and that and that. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, I ate. Now anyway, I'm already turned off because he wasn't 6 feet and he was walking up and down. He had an up and down walk to him, right? So so then we finished eating. And now I forgot to tell y'all this part. He had asked me something about feet. Did you have pretty feet? And I was like, yeah, I keep my feet done or whatever. So he was like, where I want to see your toes when you go out. I don't really think nothing. Duh. I don't think nothing about that. So I'm wearing my toes out because it was warm. Okay, it wasn't cold, right? And anyway, we finished eating and all that. So we sit in this car in the parking lot to talk for a minute, right? I'm ready to go home. I done ate. I've been working all day and night. I'm ready to go home, right? But I want to be nice. So we talking in the car. Do you know? Now this is the past, and I'm still looking at him with high regards and high respect, right? And I felt, let me tell y'all something. I felt honored that he asked me out, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Child, he said, we sit in the car talking, right? I don't even know if it was this music. We was talking, had a good conversation. He was a good conversationalist, right? Of course he would be. He a pastor. So anyway, he said, and he did it in such a way, he said like he was finished, like, okay, now, let me see your feet. What? He's like, let me see your feet. I was like, see my feet? He was like, I want to rub your feet. Now, first of all, he was in this little bit, he was in a nice car, but it was small. It was a car. You know what I'm saying? It was small. I'm in the seat, in the seat. So I'm thinking to myself, you want to rub my feet? What would I do? Hang out the window? How was we going to do that? He was already a big dude, and that ain't nothing I would have did with him. I don't know. That's not to me, rubbing my feet is sort of like an intimate act. That's strange. Dr. Strange, preacher man, is not about to rub my feet, right? So he insisted on it. I said, no, I'm not doing that. So I went on, he insisted a couple more times. It seemed like he got a little upset about it, right? So I was taken a little aback by that. So I go get in my car, go home, I'm ready to lay down and all that. He calls me, right? He calls me with a little bit of an attitude because I wouldn't let him rub my feet. I might have had some words with him. I didn't really want to cuss him out because he's a pastor. I know he got the direct link to the Lord, right? So I ain't want to really cuss him out, but I said whatever I said. And I was like, oh, he was weird. I'm done. That was such a weird experience, right? So, like I said, it's a lot of predatory acts going on in the church. You know what I'm saying? And, you have to be aware of them because people ain't looking, they not what they look like. That's the word. They're not looking like who they really are. And I was so turned off by him. And the next time I went to that church, I told my girlfriend about it. I said, girl, I went out with one of your pastors. And she said, and she automatically knew who it was and automatically knew he was weird. So I guess the word that went around, he was a weirdo and he had foot fetish. Because I forgot to tell y'all, he had told me he used to be a shoe salesman for women. Right? He used to be a shoe salesman. So I asked him then, I said, well, do you have a foot fetish? He said, yeah. Then I didn't think about it no more. So when he told me to have, make sure I have some shoes with my feet out, I'm just obliged. I ain't thinking about all that because my mind don't go in weird, right? Anyway, like I said, it's a lot of playing and pimping in the pews, right? And, the funny part is when they get caught or when it's a disruptance, right? When it's a situation going on. Somebody done got caught with somebody. And, people don't want to cuss and act out in church. You know what I'm saying? But it's real funny to watch. And I see it everywhere I go. I see it. I have seen people. I remember a long time ago when I was a little girl, I seen the pastor of my church out with a woman. He was far on the west side. I guess he thought he was far enough over. With a woman. He was engaged. He was having it wasn't like Sister So-and-so. He was dating her. And I noticed, I was young and I saw that. He had a whole wife. You know what I'm saying? And, I just see that a lot. I just think it's funny, right? I am, when I go, like I said, I'm going to enjoy the word, talk with my friends, fellowship, hear some good music, go home. I don't really, because men, there are very few single men in church. You know, most men have a woman, a girlfriend, somebody. They got somebody. And if they got good enough sense to go to church, it's somebody. Even if she don't come with them, she at the house waiting on him. She in the choir stand. She's somewhere. Very rare to single men be in church. Not straight men anyway, right? But anyway, y'all, I just want y'all to beware of the pimps and the players in the pews. All right? Before I go, I just want to say again, I'm so happy that we got a new team about to walk up in that White House, right? Trump, you know, I've had some text beefs on Facebook and Twitter about Trump in office. You know, his supporters are angry. They're angry, right? You know, and I found some of my Facebook friends that are Trump supporters, and they really want to argue. They'll argue with you a couple of days. I've had beefs, text beefs with people over a period of 2-3 days, right? Till I get tired, like, you dumb, fuck you, and go ahead about my business, right? But and you'd be surprised at the people that support Trump. I'm surprised anyway, you know. But anyway, y'all, just want to talk about pimping and the playing in the pews, right? You know, it's a phenomenon, right? It's a funny thing to watch. It's a funny thing to watch because everything is lower. You ain't gonna hear no hollering and screaming. You ain't gonna hear all that, right? You just watch the body movements and watch how they move around and the faces and all of that. But anyway, y'all, everybody have a good day. Stay safe. Continue to wear your mask. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and just stay safe. Okay. Bye bye.